and microphones should be on. We should be live. Please confirm if it is so, guys. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to hold the push to talk button so that our guests can hear me. Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure having you here. My name is RedSeven, and together with
Dan Exit.
we're gonna host this podcast, host and co-host, host this podcast. We have, for now, we are a total of 9 participants. We are still waiting for Sigma. We hope that Sigma didn't forget and she's going to join. Dan, any words at the beginning of the podcast?
Yeah, welcome everybody. It's a real pleasure to have helped Red put this all together. My involvement was relatively minor. We all know that Jedi Red7 is, of course, the mastermind behind the operation, and I just want to thank everybody for coming by and spending your time with us here today.
I'm just checking to see if everything is correct. Yes, it's looking good. So for tonight, it's tonight because for me, and I guess for the rest of Europeans there here, at least Dan Exert and Shina, for us it's like 7 or 8 p.m. So for us it's tonight. Maybe for you guys on the western side of the world it's still, I don't know, could be afternoon or so, right? So we have prepared a special podcast for tonight. Before we introduce, before we let the guests introduce themselves, what we want to mention is that we have 20 trial keys, which we are going to be giving away tonight, and we also have 3 standard accounts. All these are coming from BSG. We talked to the community manager and said, listen, we contact him and told him we're going to put this together. Are you guys willing to support? And they said, yes, of course, we're going to do this. Let me ask. And then they came with the information back and told us, listen, this is what we have for you guys, 20 trial keys and also 3 standard account keys. Is there anything that we want to add? I would say let's talk a bit before we introduce ourselves. And I would say Dan and me, should we introduce ourselves at the end a bit as well? Maybe there's a lot of guys who do not know us. Yeah. Let's talk a bit about the goals of the podcast, I would say. Before I do that, let me just quickly disable my push to talk button on Discord. Okay, you guys on Discord can hear me now, right?
Yep.
Yes, perfect. Yep. Okay, so talking about the goals of the podcast, this is something unique, I would say, in Escape from Tarkov. We managed to do a beautiful podcast. Let's see, Sigma is there with us. She is connecting, so she should be here with us, I guess. Yeah, we should be 10 now. This is like the complete panel that we planned before. So what we wanted to say, can you guys hear me on stream? I think it should be working. You guys on Discord can hear me, and I think my microphone, the volume it's pumping there, it's moving, so it should be working. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about before the introduction, maybe Dan wants to add some words here as well. The previous podcast was very special because we managed to put 21 content creators together and talk about our common project, our main game, Escape from Tarkov. Maybe some of we will find out this together tonight. Maybe some of the streamers or content creators here are coming from different backgrounds, and I think it's the case of the majority of us. But right now we're mainly going to talk about Escape from Tarkov. And yeah, in the previous podcast we managed to put a beautiful panel. This panel is also very special because it's it has a lot, I would say, except Dan and myself, female streamers. Yeah, the goal was to talk to streamers about our favorite game, Escape from Tarkov, and see what are their opinions regarding maybe issues in the game, or maybe problems with streaming, maybe not necessarily, not I wouldn't say that everything is a problem or an issue. Maybe add some feedback, talk to each other, and maybe find out more about ourselves, unite the community, and more stuff like that. Dan, would you want to add something here before we
Yeah,
go with the
absolutely.
introduction?
Absolutely. I think it's very important to make sure that as a community, we are sort of speaking together, getting to know one another as well. Everybody from all different backgrounds, beliefs, everything else. It's such a diverse community, both the players and the content creators as well. Like everybody is from all different places and different backgrounds, and I think it's incredible that everyone can sort of unite and all sort of fly the Tarkov flag together, regardless of other, background stuff.
I think it's a golden opportunity for the community as a whole. And not only that, if we manage to bring, and I'm sure we will, if we manage to bring some good or quality feedback for the devs, I think it's a golden opportunity for the devs to take note on some of the facts that we are going to be stating. Who knows, maybe we know something, or maybe there's something bothering us which can be changed, and maybe we can add a bit to that as well, right?
For sure.
Okay. So, that being said, I would start, or we should start with introducing our guests here. I don't know how you guys see the stream right now, but on my left side, I have RedVox. If you guys all agree, we can start with RedVox. Introduce yourself, RedVox, to the community and talk a bit about yourself. Also, don't forget to mention your schedule, maybe. And yeah, I guess you know what to do.
Hello, my name is Red. I'm the other Red, blue Red. I'm relatively new to Tarkov. I've only been playing it since November. I stream every day except for Thursdays. I'm in Texas, so if I could get a yeehaw in chat, I'd appreciate it. I don't know, dude. I'm pretty boring. Thank you for the yeehaws in chat. Thank you. But yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm just a Chad, and yeah, I'm addicted to Tarkov. That's about it.
All right. Magpie?
Hello, I'm Miss Magpie. I stream EFT just about every day except for Saturday, daytime in the US, so nighttime for you guys over there. I'm from the northern part of the US, so yeah, I like to chat around too, so if you ever want to hook up, Red, I definitely chat a map with you.
But
okay, Shina?
Hello, I'm Shina, in real life Kate. I'm from Poland. I playing Tarkov since November 2017. Before Tarkov, I played a lot of Battlefield series. I love sports and music. For 10 years, I played volleyball and 2 years the piano. I don't have schedule because streaming is my hobby, and I play a lot of off stream.
All right. Luki, your turn?
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Luki. I'm a full-time streamer. I stream Tarkov for like 5 months now. Yeah, if you want to see my schedule, it's underneath my stream in your time zone because time zones suck and I don't know how to say it. And cats rock.
All right. Train?
My name's Train. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I stream full-time for the past few years due to unforeseen health issues, so I stream full-time. It's worked out pretty good. I stream EFT primarily at the moment. I've been streaming it for about 4 months now. So if you like Christmas emotes and, all year round, and my cat cleaning himself behind, then definitely stop by. I stream about 5 to 6 days a week.
Okay. Sigma, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi. Can you guys hear me okay? I just wanted to make sure because I didn't check my audio earlier.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Hi guys. I've been playing Tarkov for over 2 years now. Streamed over 3,500 hours of it. Over 4,000 hours in the game. I created the Tarkov streamer battles and the duo battles. I stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Saturday is the main Tarkov battles. And on Thursdays, we do the duo battles on my second channel on evasion_GG. And we're just going to be expanding that channel to hold a whole bunch of these types of Tarkov events. And then I'm part of the team with Test and Ghost and Slush and Anton and yeah, Veritas. I'm super lucky.
Okay. Glitzy Phoenix.
Hey, my name's Glitzy Phoenix. I've streamed Tarkov for about 2 years now. I'm from the UK. I am
Woo!
Woo! I'm temporarily full time now due to the circumstances we find ourselves in. I stream mainly daytimes during the UK, so yeah, you can find me there.
Okay. Before we go to Queen, Glitzy, can you increase your volume a bit from Windows or so, from your microphone?
I can try, yeah.
Please. I think the other volumes are okay. Your volume was a bit low. Okay,
Yeah,
and Queen FPS?
Hi, I'm Queen. I've been full-time streamer for 4 years now. I've been on Twitch for 9 months. I've been playing Tarkov since October, I believe. And it's great. I have 2,000 hours already in game. I'm also a Tarkov Sherpa. So if you guys need any help with Tarkov, hit me up. I am free to team kill you. It's great.
Lord.
I stream every day at 5:30 Central, and I'm very blessed to be here. Thank you guys for all joining us today.
All right. And then I guess the guys remaining are me and Dan. Dan?
How you doing, guys? My name's Dan Exer. I'm from the UK, full-time streamer. Been playing Tarkov since November 2017. Also been appointed BSG Sherpa as well recently. So again, yeah, if you want to be team killed, if you want to learn how not to play Tarkov, come by. I stream Monday to Friday. I stream Monday to Friday, so come by and get some tips on how not to play. Please feel free.
Okay. Bad examples. Bad EFT examples. All right. And I would say my name is RedSeven. I'm the podcast organizer. Maybe you guys know me from some of the early Escape from Tarkov videos that I did with testing ammo, and then I was covering the news for like more than half a year. And then I started this podcast journey and full-time streaming in August 2019. And I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to see part of the community here with us. It's a blessing and it's a pleasure having you and the guests here tonight. And I'm very thankful that you guys said yes to the invitation. And I was born in Romania, currently live in Germany. I also used to live for like 12 years in Spain. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, like a globetrotter. That should be, yeah, that is what I wanted to say about me. I think we can move on. If you guys don't have to add, almost no one mentioned the schedule, but I guess you guys are already famous, right? And it's not necessary anymore. But we can talk about it a bit later if you guys want. If you want to precisely mention your schedule, because I think there's people curious about you guys. Okay. Should we go to the questions? Would you guys want to add anything else before we go for it? Before we jump directly into the first question?
I just want to say you guys are looking mighty fresh today. That's all I want to say.
If only I felt fresh at 4 a.m.
4 a.m. All right. So Dan, would you mind go for the first question? I'm going to ask the second. I'm going to switch a bit and so.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Okay, so for our panelists, the first question is, how many of you have prior gaming experience, amateur or professional, and how much did this experience help you during your gaming or streaming career? If you want to go from left to right as we introduced ourselves, please feel free.
Okay, that means
That's
I'm first.
you, Red. That's you, Red.
That's me.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You say red, and I don't know which red you're talking about. It's a little confusing.
I'll call you blue.
That works. Fair enough. Very original. So before Tarkov, I used to play Siege. I have about 4,000 hours in Siege. I used to play semi-professional, I guess is the best way to really put it. It's actually helped a lot in Tarkov, mostly because aim, or lack thereof. But like call outs and strategies and whatnot too is really kind of prepared me for that. And like all the experience I had streaming just Siege has kind of transferred over in the sense of like where to put your webcam or like where to connect and different events and people and stuff like that. So Siege is old Siege rather is pretty good for Tarkov experience.
All right.
Right. Well, I don't have any prior like professional experience. I just played a lot of FPS games in my day. I really got into it with Call of Duty. I just really like running around and spraying, praying. It was good. So for Tarkov, it really helped just to be able to go out there and shoot and have some fun. I love survival games too. I have thousands of hours in Ark and Rust and stuff like that. So it definitely suited my taste.
Okay. Were you an aggressive player? I mean, when we talk about aggressive player in Escape from Tarkov, we immediately understand what it means. Yeah. Were you that type of player in other games, or were you more defensive and?
Yeah, I always liked to keep my KD as best as I could.
Okay, you care about it. Okay. Shina?
I don't have any professional gaming experience. I played with my friends. I played Battlefield series a couple years, and I learned how to play with team, how to communicate, and how to respect each other. That was very important because when I started play in Battlefield Bad Company 2, I was the only girl on the clan, and I didn't know any girls until Battlefield 3, and that was very hard. I mean, because we create a team of friends, and we spend a lot of time together, and I have a lot of nice moments, and I think all my life and game experience have created me who I am right now, as a player, gamer, and streamer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. May I add a question here? You talked about friends in Battlefield in the Battlefield series. Why are you playing alone, Escape from Tarkov? Because
Why
I
I'm playing
mostly see
alone?
you on labs playing solo and killing everyone. Well, depending. Sometimes, yeah.
Because I started playing Battlefield since 2010. I played all the time with team, and I won't started play alone because all the time everyone told me in Tarkov, Shina, you need to start to play alone because you have a gear here. Because when you play together with team, you don't know how to play alone. When you are alone on the map, you don't know how to play. Yes, and I started play the labs, and I love this map, and I like play like a lone wolf and try to kill everyone on the maps. I try.
Okay.
This is for me when I play a lot of years, and I play more than 2 years in Tarkov. For me, this is a big challenge play alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luki?
Yeah, I kind of started streaming and playing games in the same time. I don't think Sims counts as game experience. But I kind of played every FPS out there and even Dark Souls. But I think, like, for example, Battlefield got my aim good, and Siege I learned tactics. So I think, like, kind of every game I played got me as a better FPS player. And before Tarkov, I hated playing as a team. Tarkov is the only game I actually enjoy doing duos or like playing with someone. Before that, I was a wolf all the time.
Okay.
Hmm.
Trade?
And I play usually real aggressive. I hate
Okay.
camping and sitting around. I don't have patience for that.
Okay.
So usually I prefer dying at least in a fight. I don't have patience to wait for someone until they get out. So yeah.
Okay. We can come to this. Yeah, Train, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Sorry. So I played Siege competitively for a little bit, for at least 4 or 5 months, but I stopped because I had some health issues that I had to attend to. That alone, it was a lot of pressure. It got me better at communication by far because you have to really work with a team, and maybe personalities can clash at times. So you have to learn how to sort of adjust to a lot of situations, schedules and things. But it really forced me to work on more of me as a person and how I interact with people and how I adapt in games more than anything. Moving to EFT was pretty hard for me because Siege, you have a time limit. It's like completely different. So when I came to EFT, I really struggled. Like, to me, it was odd that like you could hip fire someone and I'd probably die. You know, that was really odd for me. So, past FPS games definitely helped me, but it more helped me with like being patient and learning how to adapt in a game more than anything. Aim, I feel like you can pick up like with any game as long as you practice. So it definitely helps, but I don't think that it's needed to be good at a game, if that makes sense.
Okay, okay. When you say competitive, what does that mean in your case?
So I was with a team and I played under an org, and I had to do like scrims and strats and stuff like that. I
Okay.
play EFT in most games pretty competitively, but with Siege, I was like actually competitive, and versing other people and stuff. So it was definitely very different.
Okay, okay. Well, Sigma?
I don't really have any experience with FPS until Tarkov. I played with PUBG a little bit and kind of complained that I felt like it was missing something, and I had a mod that said you should try Escape from Tarkov. And then Tarkov and I cussed each other out for weeks on end, and then I decided to get good.
Okay. Was it hard adapting to the game or coming to the game?
Yeah, it was really hard because I had never played a PC game before or anything. I started off on a laptop with the maps printed out on the side of me, and that was it. Yeah, like it was really bad, but I got through it.
Okay. So, Glitzy?
Yeah, I've got no professional background in gaming. I've kind of gone through the whole growing up with consoles, various different consoles and stuff. I went to PC gaming when I started streaming. It's weird. I didn't know you could play games on a PC. I just thought it's for like Word and Excel and stuff. But yeah, so I played PUBG. I came from PUBG to Tarkov. I played a hell of a lot of DayZ as well. So they're all kind of shooters in a way. I know DayZ is more survival, but it's still got shooting in it. Yeah, so I found it really tough to get into Tarkov. I love the look of it. It seemed really hardcore, and it is really hardcore.
It is.
It's taken a long time, but I've had this addiction for about 2 years now. So you know, yeah.
Do you play solo? You play duos?
I mainly play solo.
Okay.
Now and then I'll duo with people, but on a whole, 90% of the time I'm just a solo, and I actually prefer it because it's just much easier to be stealthy. That way, you know.
Yes, and to avoid problems and so. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then Queen FPS?
I've never been into like professional gaming, but I've been gaming for years. I started like back with Super Nintendo and stuff. But I've always been super competitive. So I started, my main background was Call of Duty. It's how I even became a streamer. And I've always been one of those gamers that tried being really, really competitive. Back in Call of Duty Ghosts, I was ranked 6th in the world. Then I switched to Rainbow Six. I did PUBG. I was ranked 1 in the world for PUBG Mobile in the United States. I played everything you can think of. And then I swapped to Tarkov in October. Someone was like, "Oh, you should try it out," because I was getting tired of PUBG, and I hated it. I hated Tarkov for like the first week I played. I was like, "No, I'm never going back to this game again." And so I went back to PUBG, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? It's just I'm missing something. I'm getting bored." So I gave Tarkov another chance, and I've been here ever since. I never went back to nothing else. I mean, I play survival games and stuff like that, but Tarkov is just where it's at. There's no other game on the market that can fulfill that. You all know what it is, like that
Yeah,
itch
without a
for the
doubt.
FPS.
Yes.
And yeah, there's just no other game on the market that can like there's nothing.
Indeed,
I love
indeed,
Tarkov.
it's unique. Yes. Okay, survival games. What type, or can you recall something?
I'm huge into Subnautica. I feel like a lot of people, if you like survival games, people don't give Subnautica enough credit. It's a fantastic survival game. I played The Forest. I played so many games. I can't even think of everything right now. But mostly like Subnautica. Yeah, The Forest. Right now, I'm giving Green Hell a try. It's okay. It's more like a sandbox kind of survival, but it's fun. It's definitely fun.
Okay. Tarkov ruined all other shooters, man. Says someone in the
It
chat.
has.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really has. There's just nothing that can compare.
True. Okay. If you guys can recall, if you can remember, where does your passion for gaming and streaming come from? And then feel free to answer. What if we go emo by the book, like from left to right? We're like kindergarten, you know. I don't think we need that, right?
Right.
Okay. So the question is, where does your passion for gaming and streaming come from?
You mean like why we started what we did, or
Why and who got you into gaming, or was it I don't know, a PlayStation that you had home and you started playing, or yeah, and also related to streaming, why did you start streaming, and what's the trigger behind what was the decision? Hey man, you know what, I'm gonna start streaming and I'm gonna do this on Twitch and I'm gonna play FPS games and this is going to be cool. What, you know, how did you come to that decision or conclusion? Or yeah,
I mean, my story is a little darker than probably most. I was in a really rough spot 4 years ago. I tried committing suicide. I was going through a lot. I've always suffered with depression and anxiety, and I threw all my time into gaming. And then people I was gaming with were like, "Hey, you should give streaming a try because you're really good at Call of Duty."
okay,
And I was like, "You know what? Let's try." So I started streaming directly from my PS4 for like 2 years, and I saved up all the money until I was able to buy my first PC. And I just kept doing it. I wanted to get better and better and better. And I just built this community of people around me that help deal with the personal struggles I deal with in my life. And I feel like a lot of people deal with that. I was able to relate with a lot of people. A lot of viewers watch streamers because they're dealing with stuff in their real life and it helps them get away from that.
I agree.
So I built this community and we're just able to vibe together and grow together. And I'm happy to announce I've never tried doing that again, never tried harming myself. And I'm a better person now because of what streaming and this kind of platform has offered me. It's been fantastic.
Beautiful.
It's changed my life.
Yes, yes. Talking about gaming being entirely negative, you know, it's definitely not. Definitely not.
It's been a real life changer. It's been great. And especially the Tarkov community. I've never, in my whole years of gaming, I've never met a community as welcoming and just down to
united.
earth as the
Yes.
Tarkov community. Yeah, I feel like we're just one big family and we can all relate to a lot. And we don't hold our tongue back from each other, you know what I mean? It's great. I love a real community. I love real people. And I feel like the Tarkov community is just that. There's just no other community like this. There's just not.
Okay, what about the rest of you ladies?
Yeah, for me, sorry.
No, go ahead, please. I went first last time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I started streaming Overwatch, and I remember my first stream was like less than 20 minutes, and I didn't even have the chat or anything. And I streamed, like, I barely speak English, and I streamed for 20 minutes. And I closed my stream, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm gonna do this. So, like, in the first 20 minutes, I was hooked, and I never stopped streaming since then.
Okay.
Didn't even have the chat or anything. I would just talk to myself for 20 minutes, and apparently I like talking to myself.
Yeah, any interaction is good interaction, right? And you have to
Yeah.
you have to do that at the beginning, because if not, yeah, no one will comment.
I didn't even know you are supposed to have a chat, so like, I never watched a streamer before I streamed.
Okay.
I had no idea what you're supposed to do. But yeah, it was really fun at gaming and like talking to a camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Sigma? How come did you start streaming? Can you tell us a bit more about yourself? It's me being very curious. And I hope I'm not being a bit gonna be indiscreet. Do you say indiscreet in English? Yeah.
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 Do you have kids? And you know how? Am I touching because I have kids. Yeah. Let me be vulnerable first. I have 2 kids. And I know that in a family with kids, it's not that easy to start streaming, you know, because you have someone behind you and say, hey, do you really want to do this as a full-time, you know, as a job? And please stop me if you're not willing to talk about this. I totally understand it.
No, you're fine. So I actually started streaming because our youngest son, we have 4 kids.
Okay.
Actually, our only son, our first 3 are girls.
Okay.
And so our son asked to play Splatoon for Christmas, and Santa brought him everything he needed to play Splatoon, and I thought gaming was absolutely ridiculous and a huge waste of time. But it's what he wanted. And so we get it all set up, and he goes, "Okay, Mom, I want you to play." And I was like, "I'm not going to play games. This is ridiculous. I don't have time." And so, yeah, 6 months later, I was on a competitive Splatoon 2 team.
Wow. Streaming
which was
or
ridiculous.
only gaming?
So this is how oblivious I was. We were only gaming. I didn't even know about streaming. One day somebody emailed me a clip from Twitch from a competition we were in. I didn't even know our competitions were being streamed. And I was like, what in the hell is this? And my husband was like, this is Twitch. So apparently I was in some esports thing and didn't even realize it. That's how oblivious I was to everything around me. I just wanted to play the game. And so anyway, I was like, wait, hold on. This is like a bar and gaming in one. I can go talk to everybody and hang out and play my game. This is amazing. And honestly, a lot of moms around me thought I was nuts for wanting to game. And so this opened up an opportunity for me to find a community and people that, you know, enjoyed the same game as me. So yeah, so we have 4 kids, 21, 20, 11, and 8.
Wow, okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Magpie, how did you start this journey?
I guess I just kind of started this journey because I noticed anytime I play Call of Duty and there was people around, they just kind of sit and watch me play. So I was just kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like everyone's just kind of hanging out on the couch while I'm like running around, you know, playing. And I didn't have any friends that were female that played. So for me, streaming was also kind of a way for me to get to know other females to be able to play video games with them. So that's kind of, I guess, where it all started.
Okay.
I watched a lot of streams. Twitch is kind of my main. I don't really watch TV anymore. I've got some Netflix, but Twitch is kind of where it's at.
Okay. Glitzy? Is it okay if I call you Glitzy or Queen? Or do I have to call you guys Queen FPS and Glitzy Phoenix?
No, Glitzy's fine.
Glitzy's fine. Okay. What about you, Glitzy?
I found Twitch through, I think it was like a console app, and it blew my mind. Honestly, I never knew such things existed, and I saw the communities that people had, and I just thought it was amazing. And I just thought, well, you know, I'd love to make a community that people can come to and feel safe and happy and welcomed, and just come to forget about life, you know, just enjoy things. So I just literally threw myself into it with pictures from the internet, and that was that. I was like, I'm streaming and no one's stopping me. And yeah, and I've never stopped. I just got hooked on it instantly. I love it.
Okay. Anyone else wants to add some words here? How did you start?
Well, I think I was like most, where I played like console games when I was a kid. Just like everyone, you know, like Crash Bandicoot, Mario, things like that.
Yes.
I didn't really play too much as I got older. I had like an Xbox, but I didn't really touch it that much. I was someone who always sort of worked once I was older. I moved out of home when I was like 14, 15, so I was quite young. So for me, I was just like study and work. I was working like 50 to 60 hours a week for years. Then I got into some health issues. I don't know how, but I tore ligaments in my knee. No idea how, but eventually I just couldn't walk. So I stopped working. So I went from working like 60 hours to just dead nothing.
Okay.
I had to wait 2 years for the surgery, and I started streaming in that time, and I just got addicted to it. Really, it took up all my time. I had nothing else to do, and it helped a lot with my anxiety and stuff that I was having at the time. So I just started to do that, and it worked out really well. I met a lot of amazing people, and I've just been dealing with health issues since that. So it takes up a lot of my time, and it's worked out to be really good full time. So it's been really good.
Okay. Shina, Red?
As I said before, I played volleyball a long time, and when I was 18, I got injured, and then I had back surgery. It was very serious, and everything. When I had the situation, everything in my head crashed in one moment, because I was in shock. I thought my life is destroyed, because I had big dreams. But I knew it. I need to be strong, and I can't give up. I went to university and I started play in Battlefield because I love competition and team play, and I needed in my life competition, team play, and I need people and everything I have in this place in Twitch on Twitch. Yeah, this is why I started playing Battlefield.
Okay. Were you streaming when you started playing Battlefield?
No.
Okay.
I started in 2010, and then many years later, I started stream on YouTube. And then when I started stream Tarkov, I started on Twitch. And I love this place. I love this place. I love people on this place. I love this community. I meet many very good people with very good energy, positive emotions, and I don't want to go away. I'm not full-time streamer. I don't have time to stream right now all the time, but I love this.
Okay. And then Red, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
So I actually didn't grow up playing games at all. My parents didn't really like it. We didn't really have much time. We moved from Argentina to the United States like a lot. So we were kind of always on the never really had a chance to like sit down and whatnot. So I started streaming in 2017 and I started playing games 2017. I mean I did have a GameCube before that, but it's a GameCube.
Okay.
And my PC was absolutely horrible. Somehow managed to stream on it, did two 24-hour streams and everything. And then just kind of grew from there. And I the only reason I started streaming is just because I was doing YouTube videos and I didn't have time to edit. For those of you that don't know me, I'm in college full time. I'm double majoring in neuroscience and forensics. As you can imagine, it's a lot of time. So I just decided, hey, I'm gonna start streaming. Just try it out. I didn't know what Twitch was or anything, and then just blew up for some reason. And I've only been full-time streaming for it was a year in February, and I was working full-time as well before that. So it's been quite a ride, but I'm really lucky to have the community and meet all of you guys and everybody. So I'm very glad that I took that step forward and was kind of lazy and started streaming instead. So
I guess I'm gonna add a question that's not in the panel. I watched you guys know Robin. I mean, I guess we all know Robin. I read one of his tweets where he said streaming is hands down the best decision of my life. Do you guys agree so far?
100%.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay.
I think in the same way. Oh, sorry.
Yes, go ahead,
I
please.
want to say that in the same way you say Tarkov is really addictive. I think streaming is really addictive. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I
my
agree.
first year of streaming was just pure addiction. I was just addicted to stream, to be online nonstop. So
Same.
that was
Yeah.
the first year, just pure addiction.
Okay. So next question, if you would want, Dan.
For sure. So you've told us your backgrounds, guys, about streaming. Why choose streaming over other hobbies at the start? Of course, nobody really starts streaming professionally from day one. We all do it because we enjoy it, or we like playing games, or we want to do it socially. Why did you choose that over other sort of hobbies or other interests that you might have?
For me, it was sort of like at the time I got quite unwell, not just physically, but like mentally as well. Like PTSD and things like that. And for me, I was having quite a lot of difficulty just leaving the house really, and interacting with people that you usually would. So for me, being able to still interact with people whilst also being able to do something that I love was a really good thing. And I was also a little bit bound to be home due to health issues anyway. So I thought, I may as well sort of like, do something that I enjoy and stay at home. And you got to be careful though, because I still struggle to leave the house quite a lot right now. It's not wise, but It can be kind of addictive that you kind of forget there's like a world out there. But I don't know. I suppose I just chose it because it helped me in my current situation. So I suppose that's why for me.
For sure.
Anyone
we could
else?
we could go from left to right again if it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Of course.
Now, I mean, there could be some questions where no one is forced to answer to a question where if you don't have an answer, right? So if you have something to say, please feel free to say. So if not, then we can move on and to the next one. Of course, there's absolutely no rush or pressure or whatever stress.
I mean, I'm gonna sit and say I blame my fiance because he built himself a PC, and that's where I discovered PC gaming. And from there, I found Daisy and Armor, and I was hooked instantly. And then, like I say, I found Twitch, and then the two just melted together, and it just was amazing. I had other hobbies here and there, but nothing really kept me as kind of entertained and as hooked as gaming and streaming.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. Like, is there any other hobby that's better than what we do?
Exactly, right?
Like,
It's
there's just nothing
amazing.
that can. It's great.
I chose to stream because I'm old as dirt and I've already done all the other hobbies. So next. Just kidding. I hope Jedi doesn't take it that way. That's just one of my emotes. It's like, oh, we checked something off the list. Let's go to the next one. But yeah, that's why I chose streaming.
The next question, if you would want to add something, please feel free to do so.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, sure.
How much does Glitzy sound like bloody Tracer from Overwatch?
Cheers, love.
Oh, she does.
It's
Oh my
the
God.
exact
Oh my
same.
God.
The exact same. Okay, that was all.
So I'm looking at the next question, but I think we answered it. When did you start playing EFT, and what is the reason behind switching from EFT from other games to EFT? And now that you stream and play EFT, do you still play the other games you were playing before? And we already talked about that, but I want to add here: is it that hard to go back to a game after playing Escape from Tarkov? I think it's for me personally.
Oh yeah.
I tried to I tried Call of Duty with all the respect that I have for the other games. Yeah, I don't want to insult or so, but it was like, meh, I'm gonna try it for like 1 week, even less than that, and I have to force myself to play those games. I don't know.
I think it depends what game.
Work.
Yeah, I think it definitely
Because,
depends what game.
Your general like FPS skills are gonna like carry over, right?
For sure.
Like if you go from like EFT to like Siege, there's certain things in Siege that seem like a hell of a lot easier now, but there's a lot of things that seem a hell of a lot harder.
Yes.
So I think like some things carry across, and if you're a person that can adapt well to FPS games in general, I think most things will carry across. It's like any game, right? Like if you want to be good at it, you gotta grind it. Like it's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like cats.
So
That's
I
what
went, for
earlier when I
example,
said like no other
Please.
game can scratch your brain the way EFT does. That's what I meant. Like
Yeah.
when it comes to survival games stuff like that, like maybe like yeah, I could go play that, but
yeah,
FPS games just nothing fills that hole that I need as a gamer for an FPS.
yeah, but those are
Seems
different
like
genres definitely not comparable, and you can find yourself in those games, but if you go from a first-person shooter from Escape from Tarkov to a different first-person shooter, you don't have you have the feeling that you don't belong there, right? I tried Escape from Tarkov. I was playing Escape from Tarkov a lot, and then I wanted to go to squad. So I played squad, and I was shooting from, let's just call it the hip, but it's basically point fire or shoulder ready. And I was aiming for the sky all the time, and I was like, what am I doing, So it's really hard. It's really hard, yeah. I
I
guess
feel a little
it's hard
different
for all
about
of us.
that. I feel like Tarkov has made me better at all the other FPS shooters, because Tarkov is such like if you don't hit them in the head or hit them in the weak spot of the armor if they're wearing it, like you're not gonna get the kill. So it's just like, for me, that made it a lot better, because I play games like the survival games like Rust and stuff like that, and I can hit those headshots just fine.
Okay.
Like I went try the new Call of Duty Battle Royale. I tried it last week or something, and I caught myself saying like 1,000 times, "If this was Tarkov, you'd be dead," because I'm shooting them in the head. They're not dying, and it's just that's the issue I have now with other FPS games. It's just they don't die as fast as they should, like they would on Tarkov.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I'm a really picky player. Like I like FPS and realistic games, and like they need to look a certain way. So for me to actually find a game I like, it's kind of never happens. Like before Tarkov, I looked for a game to play for like a whole year. Before Tarkov, it was Ring of Elysium. So most likely it's gonna take me a few years to actually find a game I like again, besides Tarkov, because I'm really, really picky about what I like.
Okay.
And I don't enjoy playing them more than like half an hour and like done, I'm bored.
And I feel like Tarkov has set that bar so high. It's going to take one hell of a game to, you know. add
I
up to
agree.
this, to get
Yeah.
my attention up. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's gonna take
Exactly.
me-
Yeah, hats off to BattleState for creating something that none of us can get away from.
right.
Unique indeed, yes. I'm gonna skip to the next one then, or Dan, your call.
Yeah. So, do you guys agree that Tarkov is very addictive? And would you have any advice for, say, parents regarding how much their kids might play the game? Bearing in mind, obviously, Tarkov's age restriction. But would you have any advice for, say, any responsible individuals? Yeah, regarding how much people are playing it.
But we are the responsible individuals. There's really no
I
kids
know.
that play Tarkov. We're the adults. We're the parents. We're the ones addicted, not the kids.
I don't know. I've spent probably 25 hours playing with Minisig lately. Her and I've had a great time, so I don't know if I'm the example. But my parent cool points definitely have risen lately, so that's
I don't really have any kids except for a cat, and I don't see him playing anytime soon. Sorry.
Yes, but
I don't really have
not
too much
your
advice,
kids.
but obviously
Not
a
your
parent,
kids, but
like it's up to the parent, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
up to a parent
exactly.
to control what their kids do, and
Yes.
it's still their decision how much they want their kids to see. So I don't feel like I could really like give advice or an opinion. I mean, you just sort of have to hope that parents have the right outlook and the right goals for the children to grow up with, right? Like you just want them to obviously have their best interest.
I look at it this way. The world's a crazy place right now, and I'm seeing like 15, 16-year-old kids out doing drugs and doing these kind of things. And I feel like if it was my child, like if I had a kid, as long as your schoolwork's done and you're doing good with your real life stuff, on your free time, if you want to game, do your thing. As long as you're to bed by a certain time and up in the morning to do school and that kind of stuff. I feel like gaming is a great place for any kid, as long as they're not overdoing it and they're taking care of their real life stuff first. You know
Very
what I
good
mean?
point. Yeah.
I would much rather my kid be playing a game than out with, doing things that I was doing as a teenager that we shouldn't have been doing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I totally agree. And because I have my son who is 9 years old already, and because my parents were very restrictive with me, I try to somehow teach myself to not go the same path as my parents, But I do agree, and it's a very good point, Queen. There, you have to have control, and there has to be a balance. I would say,
Right.
because if not, if you leave your son or your kid also with your child with the phone in the hands, he will spend 24 hours with the phone in the hands. It will simply ignore food, drinks, whatever. It's very, very addictive. And that's why we added this question, because there has to be a bit of control. But also some of the parents need to understand that we live with technology in our hands. We have to. Because imagine a kid that doesn't know how to handle a phone, or doesn't know how to handle a tablet or the mouse or so, going to school, that kid is going to be bullied. So on the opposite side, it's also bad, right? You have to be
It's like
somewhere
you're
in the
stuck
middle
between
with
a
a bit
rock
of
and a
control
hard
and balance,
place.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think balance, understanding, and communication is very important. We need to talk with our our kids, yes, and we need to remember that we were children too, and we had passions, we had dreams, we had hobbies, and we still have, but we have more experience because we are adult, and we can help our kids.
Yes, indeed.
Also, I think children are born these days knowing how to use an iPhone. So there's that.
That is true.
This is probably my favorite question, but I'm not going to get too into it because I've done a lot of studies in both like crime rates and the neurological developments in kids who do play games and then kids that don't, and all the sociology of that. So I'm not going to get super into it. Someday you'll catch me rambling on my stream about it. But it's like there's a difference between letting your kid be addicted, but the thing is, like, a lot of times those kids that get addicted to video games or something, if it's not that, they're gonna get addicted to something else. So it's all about it's all about like being understanding, right? I mean, I don't think that, like, in this day and age you can just keep your kid inside all day and not let them use technology, because, like, I mean, look at what's happening now. If you're in school, like, all these kids need to know how to use Zoom and how to use Microsoft Teams or whatever it is they're using.
PowerPoint.
Exactly. Like, we can't keep, like, staying in the past when all of the technology is developing, right? So it's like, I think it's a very good asset to like, know how to use a computer and wanna. I mean, I'm sure we all have parents or older relatives that they'll call you over and be like, "Hey, I don't know how to print something," or "I don't know how to do something on the computer," right? Like, you just have to somehow magically figure it out.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea to, like, for me, it's like gun safety, right? Your kids should know how to do it, but how to do it correctly, right? With supervision, with knowing all the safety and stuff like that, obviously. But I don't have kids. Sorry. I just have a cat and 2 degrees. So I've done a lot of research, but yeah, I won't get too into it because I will spend, like, the rest of this podcast
We'll have to
talking
change the
about it.
title of the stream.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I know, honestly.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
As a personal experience, so yeah, I have 2 kids. Yeah, my son is 9 and my daughter is 6, and I also post some videos on YouTube, and I got one comment from someone. Sometimes the kids ramble around me, behind me, and so on, and he said, I think, yeah, he said, can you really, or do you really play first-person shooter games with your kids in the background? Is this something, he was like, he was thinking that my kids are going to turn into whatever, criminals, whatever, and I told him, yes, I do it, and I don't see a change or in the behavior of my son. If I let my son play offline Escape from Tarkov, although he doesn't have the age, but and then I let him play some other games as well, but I don't see a change in his behavior. He's not violent, he's not responding back, he's like that innocent kid. So I think it doesn't have to do, I mean, I'm not a scientist I haven't done study with this, but I don't think it has to do with that. But definitely you should have control over your kids, without a doubt, yes.
This brings up, like, I want to talk about something. It's probably more of a darker subject, but it's around the subject, about how people say, it's all over the news, like, oh, this person went and shut up a school or did that because of gaming, and that blows my mind. Like, I would love to see the statistics on someone that doesn't play video games and is a younger adult or a teenager that's out with his friends doing drugs and this kind of thing, and is out doing crimes, rather than someone playing video games and then going out and doing crimes. Because I don't know about you guys, but me, all I do is I work, I stream, and